The nation's two largest reservoirs of the Colorado River have reached record low levels, and 40 million Americans in 7 states are feeling the impact.
Increased snow in the Rockies and a plan by 3 states to conserve water is helping to avoid a catastrophe. And yet that's a short-term fix, and a permanent solution is still needed. Caitlin Burke reports.
Major winter storms here in the Northwest left the Rocky Mountains with one of the largest snowpacks on record. As that snow melts, it's expected to help the depleted reservoirs of the Colorado River, which provides water for 7 states.
Nature gave us a lifeline, and we can't waste that lifeline, right?
The Colorado River feeds Lakes Powell and Mead, the nation's largest reservoirs. Serving 40 million Americans, it would be a catastrophe if the water stopped flowing. Last year, as the reservoirs began to reach dangerously low levels, the federal government stepped in, ordering those states to significantly reduce water use.
Using the water rights did not work for Arizona, and the new alternative to cut across the board did not work for California and its water rights. So neither one worked. And what we said, all of us said, we need to come up with a solution that utilizes what's on the table.
Adel Hagekhalil, general manager of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, says an agreement only happened when the Biden administration threatened a plan of its own that state leaders didn't feel served their best interests.
We've deferred the crisis for 3 years, maybe a little bit longer, but it's still a very urgent problem. As
a part of the New Deal, the 3 states consuming the most water from the Colorado River, Arizona, Nevada, and California, agreed to conserve about 13% of their total allocation. In exchange, they'll receive about $1.2 billion in federal funding. Still, it's no long-term solution.
I suspect that the only economical way we have to resolve this problem in the long term will be to reduce our agricultural irrigation by about 25%.
Watershed Sciences Director Jay Lund of the University of California, Davis, points out that states will ultimately have to adapt to drier conditions and hotter temperatures. And he adds that preserving the region's water supply will likely involve more cuts.
None of us want to see a day where we don't have water. And so we need to be smart. We need to plan and work together to reduce our consumption and manage with the reality that we have.
Hagekhalil suggests working on projects aimed at recycling more wastewater, capturing stormwater, and cleaning up contaminated groundwater.
The next 2 to 3 years are expected to be crucial for those working on solutions for the chronic water supply shortages here, something that will only be possible if everyone comes together. Andrew?
Caitlin, thank you. You know, some Americans might look at this and think, oh, it's just a problem for the West. Why should all Americans be concerned about this water shortage?
Well, an end to water out west would also mean an end to farming. And these states in question produce a majority of the fruit, vegetables, and even nuts that the entire country depends on. So as they continue to talk about water conservation, they're going to have to look at agriculture. Watering these crops uses about 80% of the water that they're allotted. And as they have to take a look and make more cuts, it will likely affect what we see on our shelves.
Yeah, so this plan is considered more of a short-term fix. Why is that? And what about, possible long-term issues needing to be addressed?
Right. So this deal is basically the federal government offering to pay states to use less water. And that's not something that is sustainable long term. It would cost about $1 billion. So these states need to start thinking of ways to stop using the Colorado River as their main water source. They can't expect it to replenish because these dry conditions are expected to be here to stay. So that's going to mean building more infrastructure, coming up with creative solutions to find another way to get water or just use less.
Yeah, last question. So what are Western states doing to conserve water?
Well, they're definitely used to a greater level of water conservation than many other states in the United States already. Nevada is the state that is doing the most, even before the federal government stepped in to say you need to make some dramatic changes. They already have been offering financial incentives to residents to get rid of grass. They have water police who actually go around and make sure that people are following water schedules and guidelines and patrol for leaks. And they also do extensive water recycling. They're actually already working on a wastewater recycling project with California, and we expect other states to really follow their lead.
All right, good ideas. We're hoping they work. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.